Thank you very much, Professor Romani. Hi, everyone. And thanks to all speakers before. And the quiz session, I really enjoyed it and really tested knowledge and really amazing. So I bring you a lot of greetings from Accra, Ghana. The next slides will not be representative at all of how beautiful Ghana is. So I felt I shared to you the beauty of Ghana so that, you are more than welcome to visit. So plastic punch. Why plastic punch? Before that, I'll give you an overview of what we do. We are an NGO here in Ghana, and what we do is use citizen science to inspire behavioral change, coming up with sustainable waste management solutions with a specific emphasis on plastic reduction. Our vision is less plastics, better lives. We are a growing team, and this is how the plastic punch came up with, or this is how we started. So, Ghana, rich in fauna and flora, very beautiful country. Unfortunately, in some communities we serve, there are more plastics than fishes, or the fisher folks are catching more plastics than fishes. And you can see some pictures over there of some of the areas. Now, Plastic Punch started as a response to all these sea turtles you see down there. We went to a turtle monitoring session, and out of the 6 turtles we saw on that night, 5 of them were dead. We could not scientifically diagnose what the cause of death was. But looking at the beach with all the plastics, we felt that there was a link, and then we wanted to, or we needed to act. And by acting to these plastics, of course, you need a very strong punch, and that is how Plastic Punch was birthed. So we work on what we call wild beaches, beaches where these are not touristic beaches. So by acting, we need to bring the community in touch and in contact with the problem. So we have very big volunteer-based cleanups, some small in different locations, and bring the community in contact with the problem. Our events are plastic-free, demonstrating how we use calabash, local indigenous solutions, calabash, leaves for food, and also encouraging participants to bring their own reusable bottles to inspire behavioral change. You would agree with me that the beach cleanups cannot be a solution. There's going to be more trash after every high tide, and that's why we have the specific emphasis on reduction. However, we are there for 2 reasons. We want to be able to understand what is polluting and who is polluting. So what is polluting is the waste segregation. We have a specific model where we collect data on the different streams of pollutants. So when volunteers are picking shoes, they keep picking shoes. If you are picking bottles, you keep picking bottles. Sachet, you keep picking sachet. So that we are able to understand what the different waste streams are. We'll be saying more about what we do with this data. We also collect data on the who is polluting. What are the brands polluting in the beach? These bottles and these products we find definitely belongs to a parent company. What are these companies? Who are these companies? And these are the answers we want to get after every operation. You can see volunteers really want to know how much they've collected also personally after every beach cleanup. Just a little bit of representation over here in Ghana from an activity in 2021. You can see we have a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of shoes, because we have a textile waste problem over here as well. Ties, single-use plastics, and a lot of water sachet, as Maria showed in her earlier presentation. So with this data, what we do with the data is we share, and this is data that we have collected together with the community. We share this data to the municipal assemblies and the district assemblies, so to inform their waste management situation or waste management, yes, definitely, the situation, and help to give pointers on what we can or we should work towards managing. Also informs our awareness activities. We also share the data with the Ghana Statistical Service, for which Ghana is the first country to be able to report the SDG 14.1 indicators using UN guidelines. And this is thanks to the data sets that we use. Using the what pollutants are, we also determine recycling rates, thereby currently working on a multi-stakeholder platform with on the Ghana MPAP with different partners from government, from private sector, to identify and phase out what problematic plastics are. based on the data on the who is polluting, the brands that are polluting. Again, with a multi-stakeholder platform using this baseline data, we are strongly advocating for the extended producer responsibility in Ghana, for which there's a lot of work going on and will soon be a law or a policy direction. We contribute our data to ocean litter databases, and also we are working on what we call the voluntary pact with businesses, and we'll be speaking a little bit about that. Is our action a drop in the ocean? Is it even meaningful? I mean, like Professor Ramani usually says, little drops of water really makes a mighty ocean. This is a testimony I will play. It's like 30 seconds. And it's from one of the communities we work over here in Ngwa, and you'll be hearing from the municipal waste manager, the metropolitan health officer, saying what the effect of our citizen science activities has been.
What Legacy is doing, to me, is very, very important, because collecting these plastics, the toxic waste from the plastics that is causing aquatic death is reduced. And then this year, when we had flood, no water entered into anybody's room, and nobody complained about flooding too, because the system is now clear. Plastic Pansu may not know all the sources of these plastics. But if you engage community participation, they will now bring it from all the obscure corners. And then plastic will be out from our nose.
So that is what we do. And we really believe that with data sets, it's very important to understand the problem. And with the data sets, we do understand the problem. And with the different activities that I'll be showing you, understanding the problem, then we go towards solutions. So I'm going to run through the different activities that we do, which we are confident that with all these together, with political will, we can be able to combat or beat this plastic pollution menace that we have over here in Ghana, and of course across the world. That will improve livelihoods. So we do carry out needle hunts. So needles are the raw materials found in or used in the production of all plastics. Some spill on beaches from these, from handling by ships, and also from these factories. So we do collect needles or do a needle hunt to be able to see or know if we find these needles. We carry out waste audits in institutions using different methodologies like the source to sink, etc., to be able to understand what the waste generated in different institutions or schools are, so that we can be able to direct the awareness, direction, and effort. We deploy tools like games, app, and quizzes to make it fun. And the app we have is to collect data on sea turtles. It's a citizen science app, and this is to encourage the communities we serve to collect data on these endangered species, and also for us to focus our conservation efforts on these communities that we are serving. Now, we realize that most of the trash we find is linked to the production of single-use plastic. So we are doing a lot of research and development with what we call AltPack, alternative packaging solutions, where we are trying to come up with products that look and feel like plastic, but from vegetal fiber. This can be sugarcane, seaweed, sargassum, hemp, and we are trying different products with collaboration of different partners. Most of the trash by the data set also is from the provision of clean drinking water. People want to drink clean drinking water, so there's a lot of single-use plastic use in Ghana. We've come up with these machines that we are piloting at the moment with our Indian partners who helped us build this machine, Boon. So pretty much what this machine on the right, which we call Insopa, does is you only bring a bottle of water, you bring a reusable bottle, and then with the swipe of a card, you're able to get clean drinking water with no contact with plastic, sachet, water bottles, or the LDPE. We are very passionate about building capacity in ocean sciences. So we have a program we call COISIN, which we are part of, Coastal Ocean Environment School in Nigeria and Ghana. It's happening this year again in Ghana, pretty much building capacities in the science and policy of plastics, biogeochemistry, fiscal oceanography, and fisheries and marine conservation. We've received more funding, and the school would be expanding to the French-speaking African countries in Cameroon, and we'll be working also in East Africa for the first time in Kenya in September. We are very big on what we call edutainment because really, after collecting all this data, disseminating the information is another thing. The community is really understanding what we want to send out. So this is a form of science communication, which we call edutainment, and it comes in different forms. We do theater, we do series. We have video series airing on some TV stations in Ghana, about 6 TV stations. You're invited to check out the Plastic Punch series on YouTube. We also have graffiti works on walls or public spaces to raise awareness on the topic. We also partner with festivals like the Global Citizen Festival in Ghana, where we get people to win free tickets to this festival. We don't charge for these festivals. You have to do something for the environment to be in this festival so that, making environmental protection generally cool is what we seek to do with the edutainment. We also do a lot of different workshops from upcycling, gardening, composting workshop with the schools and the communities we serve, just to repurpose and to really send a message or transmit this message that we seek to transmit out in very different and cool ways. You can see this fish over here. It's a tool we have in the lower right corner. It's a tool we have to remind people that if we do not segregate and manage our plastics well, it's going to end up in the fishes that will be coming up to our plates. So I'll take 1 minute to talk about this initiative. This is the voluntary pact to phase down single-use plastics in Ghana. It's something we are working on. At the moment, implementation starts in May. And what we have done is we realized the supermarkets over here in Ghana give a lot of free single-use plastics. So picking inspiration from India, from the UK, from France, and other countries around the world, we brought together supermarkets, and the plan is to, or what we have agreed is to charge 50 pesos on every single-use plastics which is distributed in the supermarket. This will mean that consumers will be punished for taking single-use plastics, and then will be more encouraged to bring more reusable bags to shop. And this is a way to improve environmental sustainability. Can we see a clean Ghana in 20 years? Really, with all these actions and activities that we are carrying on, both from the policy side, from the government side, from the data side, marine change is possible. Change is possible. It's definitely going to come if we have the right mindset. Marine pollution continues to be a global issue, but with active participation from local communities via citizen science, throughout the planet, effective positive change can be a reality. And with only collective action and responsibility, we can be able to beat this triple planetary crisis. I will play a short video from the Global Citizen Festival, the last one we had in Accra, so that you have a look and feel of what the festival looks like. And then it will be a thank you very much from the side.
There's no sound, but it looks great.
All of the champion, but them in the dance, putting up, love them in the air. Walk it up, stick it up.
Yeah, tell me what you need from me now. I know I can need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages, no, no, no more damages. Back then when I was a baby girl,
You don't live the life, you just dream it. Don't mind them boys, they don't mean it. If I slap your face, you're gonna feel it. Slide in the middle like Grealish. My next 6 bigger than my previous. Red lights looking all green and fake niggas call me blood, I get scared.
Thank you very much for your attention. This has been amazing, and we look forward to keeping up the energy and our collective responsibility for people and planet. Aita Akpem. Thank you.
See, I've seen people say, for example, doing plastic collection as a moral or fun activity, but you're changing it and make it evidence-based and data-driven. That is, I mean, truly amazing. And how long did it take for you to develop some kind of critical mass to be able to actually create this kind of database evidence, linking it to different kinds of plastic and all that?
Thank you very much, Raja, for your question, and Raji and Ratna for picking up our work. Thank you. So yes, we've been working for 7 years. For the evidence-based part of the work, we realized just after our very first beach cleanup that no, we need to find a way to collect data. It's been very difficult to represent the data. It took us 2 beach cleanups to be able to, before we started to count every plastic, but then we are able to count about 100,000 of single-use plastics. It takes so much time. Then we move to weighing. Also because we know our governments over here in Ghana and in Africa, really you need data and evidence to be able to change things, especially on the policy direction or in the policy direction. So we needed evidence, hardcore evidence to show to government officials, to show to the municipalities that, hey, this is the operation that we had. And also really knowing that the beach cleanup itself is not a solution. There's going to be more trash coming. We felt this will be the added value to our work. And that is the protocol or system that we have deployed since. And with all the data that comes out, we are able to come up with new solutions and be able to understand what is polluting more and are able to direct our actions towards solving these problems and still measuring our impact over the period with this same data to know if we are even impacting the communities we serve.